With just the press of a shutter, hundreds of billions of dollars worth of chip secrets can slip right out of your pocket. This isn't a spy movie, it's a real incident that just happened at TSMC. Last week, 3 engineers were charged with stealing the core technology for a 2-nanometer chip that hasn't even gone into mass production yet. This is the holy grail of the global semiconductor industry, the most advanced technology in existence, and TSMC is unquestionably number 1 in the world in 2 nanometers. This corporate espionage case has shaken Taiwan's silicon shield, and could shift the balance of technological power worldwide. Even more worrying, this silent war of corporate espionage is not the first time TSMC has been targeted, and it certainly won't be the last. Corporate espionage refers to the illegal acquisition of another company's trade secrets for corporate or national gain. The methods are often more dramatic than in the movies, and they've all really happened. In Japan, a job applicant visiting the R&D department of an optics giant hid a pinhole camera in his shirt button to secretly film the lab layout. In 2018, Bloomberg revealed that server motherboards used by US tech companies had been implanted with chips smaller than a grain of rice, capable of stealing data remotely, apparently through supply chain component swaps. Some departing employees have dismantled a hard drive from their work computer, stuffed it inside a speaker, and tried to sneak it past security. Hackers have embedded backdoor programs in ordinary Excel spreadsheets. US steel companies and the solar firm SolarWorld lost vast amounts of business and pricing data this way. According to the FBI, corporate espionage causes over $600 billion in economic losses each year, and the number is still rising. TSMC itself has been hit before. In 2011, an employee stole 28 nanometers process technology and handed it to a Chinese competitor. In 2019, a former technical manager left with 16 nanometers confidential documents and was sentenced by the court. In this battlefield, a single lapse can cost a company its 10-year lead. If even noodle shop owners worry about their secret recipes leaking, imagine the stakes for high-tech industries worth more than nations. The leak of TSMC's 2 nanometers technology involved a method both simple and deadly. According to prosecutors, the 3 engineers exploited their job access to enter the database containing the core data for the still unreleased 2 nanometers process, photographing process diagrams, key parameters, and test data. They then uploaded the images to personal cloud storage, renaming the files to innocuous titles like family_trip.jpg or meeting_notes. To bypass keyword scans. To further evade detection, they worked after hours or on holidays, using personal laptops to organize the files, compressing and encrypting them before sending them out. The turning point came when TSMC's internal behavior analysis system detected that the same account had, in a short period, opened an unusually high number of top-secret files, and logged into the R&D servers multiple times, outside of working hours. These anomalies triggered a cybersecurity alert, prompting the security team to work with investigators to track the suspects, eventually arresting all 3. In the semiconductor industry, technology is national power. A single defensive failure can let competitors skip 10 years of development. The US passed the Economic Espionage Act in 1996, prompted by a series of infiltrations of its aerospace and semiconductor industries by foreign intelligence agencies in the late Cold War, especially the IBM source code theft and the leakage of US aircraft engine blueprints in the 1990s, which made Congress realize that corporate espionage was a national security issue. Under the law, if the theft involves a foreign government, the maximum penalty is 15 years in prison and a $5 million fine. Taiwan followed suit between 2011 and 2013 after a series of high-end process leaks, including the theft of TSMC's 28 nanometers technology for a Chinese competitor, prompting amendments to the Trade Secrets Act to include cross-border theft under the National Security Act, with a maximum 12-year sentence. Why do people still take the risk? Because the payoff is enormous. A single successful theft can be worth hundreds of millions of dollars. Some spies even sell the same secret to multiple buyers. The TSMC engineers in this case reportedly had enough cash to buy luxury homes outright, showing just how lucrative the risk can be. For companies, it's an irreversible disaster. For spies, it can mean a lifetime of wealth. TSMC is far from the only victim. An Intel engineer stole 13,000 confidential files and got 3 years in prison. Samsung accused a former employee of smuggling OLED technology, worth $140 million. Tesla CEO Elon Musk publicly accused an employee of packaging and selling self-driving source code to a Chinese company. In 2019, the US accused Huawei of stealing T-Mobile's smartphone testing robot arm, sparking a diplomatic dispute. These cases share a common thread. They're not just about companies, they affect relations between nations. In the US-China tech rivalry, Corporate espionage is no longer a solo operation, it's often tied directly to national strategy. China's military-civil fusion policy requires private companies, cutting-edge technologies to serve national defense, fueling suspicion that many private firms overseas R&D work actually serves intelligence purposes. The U.S., for its part, launched the China Initiative in 2018 to target economic espionage and technology transfer cases involving Chinese companies or scientists. For example, in 2019, a Chinese-American MIT professor was arrested by the FBI for failing to report a collaboration with China. That same year, an engineer on a NASA contract was convicted for sending rocket design data back to China. In this tech Cold War, semiconductors, AI, 5G, and quantum computing are the arenas of national competition. When technology represents national strength, every leak can shift military balances and reshape global political and economic order. This is not just a corporate risk, it's an international war without tanks or missiles. Did you know there are professionals whose job is to catch spies? Counter-espionage consulting firms are hired by multinationals to secretly test their defenses. They may send operatives disguised as job applicants, wearing micro cameras hidden in belt buckles or eyeglass frames, filming every detail during R&D tours. They might infiltrate supplier warehouses to photocopy product models and shipping orders, testing for supply chain vulnerabilities. In 2017, a major European defense contractor hired such a firm. Within 2 weeks, the consultants had breached the core server room and copied fictitious classified files, proving the security system was useless. US-based Stratfor, known for intelligence analysis, has helped energy firms predict and intercept infiltration attempts. Israel's NSO group is infamous for its Pegasus spyware, which can penetrate smartphones, used for counterterrorism but also accused of enabling international espionage. In this spy versus spy world, cybersecurity is far more than antivirus software. Top firms adopt zero-trust architecture, requiring multi-factor authentication for any employee or device accessing sensitive data. External connections and emails are sandboxed to block phishing and malware. Behavioral analytics systems flag abnormal access patterns to catch insiders early. On this silent battlefield, the contest between intelligence and counterintelligence is constant. Any lapse could hand the enemy the game. From TSMC to Silicon Valley, from chips to artificial intelligence, the ghost of corporate espionage moves quietly between nations. In this war without gunfire, the weapons are data, code, and technical blueprints. The next time a single photo on your phone, an email, or even an accidental cloud share could ignite an international spy battle. As countries vie for tech supremacy, chips, AI, 5G, and quantum computing will be the next strategic targets. Do you think these three engineers were really acting alone, or was this already part of a shadow war between nations? Today's victim is TSMC. Who will it be tomorrow?